Hello and welcome to the next part of Super Danganronpa Another 2. Last time we finished the investigation and well, now it is time for the first trial. Hoo boy!
You have no idea how long I've been waiting for this.
It was a long wait indeed.
I just really want to see how well you predict this game, Rina, because like I was able to predict a lot when I went through the first time. I just want to see you do it because you predicted so much in DRA and I was very impressed. I'm just like, now I'm in the position where I get to sit here without guiding you at all and I get to see how you do.
Oh no. Oh boy. Don't have too much high hopes on me. I am not stupid, but...
You're smart. I think... Did you turn them on or off? You turned them on. Okay.
I think so?
Yeah, it shows 0 skill points, so... Or maybe... Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they weren't on.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we only have 3, too, so...
We will survive.
Do you want to review the
Hopefully.
evidence first before we go in there, since it's been so long?
Most definitely.
Yeah, you can read those. I'll just sit here.
What is that text? Text for ants?
It's so tiny.
Okay, I don't think I can... okay, I gotta...
Do it, it's fine.
I gotta read the text for ants.
File given to us by Monocro containing information on the victim. The victim is Yuri Kagarin. He was found in the first floor of the Urehara bell tower. I'm gonna stutter a lot, sorry. The bottom of his left calf has been penetrated by a hook, and there are markings caused by shaped wires all over his body. Additionally, there is a deep stab wound on his right calf. Besides his external wounds, his neck, his spine are both broken. In addition to both of his kneecaps, the ultimate cause of death is shock from trauma and loss of blood.
That's better.
Is that text a bit better?
Yes, that's most definitely better.
Okay.
The hook that was found stabbed into Yuri's left calf. A long, sturdy rope is attached to the other end. The culprit likely used the hook to immobilize Yuri and then used the rope to pull him up the tower. A huge stab mark on Yuri's right calf. His left calf was penetrated by the hook, but what could have caused the wound on this leg? I think we said that this was probably a failed trial run.
Yeah, that's what I think.
The large container for storing liquid nitrogen was found in Kokoro's room. The label reads caution, liquid nitrogen. What did the culprit use liquid nitrogen for? I don't remember this one.
I think this is a bug. This is supposed to be the sharp wires.
Yeah, because I was like, liquid nitrogen?
Anyway, move on.
Oopsie. As you ascend the tower, there are cut wires along the walls at various heights. The culprit probably set up the wires using the stars? Then pulled Yuri up the tower to cut him using them. But why spend the time setting up these wires if they were just going to drop into his staff? That's what I still don't understand.
Probably insurance. But probably insurance. Because I think what I remember the Monocro file saying is that it was a mix of shock and blood loss.
The spiral staircase connects the first floor of the bell tower to the top floor. The stairs are the only way to get to the top. Since the tower is quite tall, it would take at least 5 minutes to get to the top, no matter how fast you are. Whatever the culprit did, they were definitely on the top floor when they did it, so we can assume they got up with the staircase, yeah.
So the actual murder occurred, like, when they were already on the top floor.
Yep. There's a mysterious mark on the huge bell at the top of the bell tower. Whatever the mark is from, it looks like it was scratched by something. I'm not sure how a scrape like that ended up in such a strange location. Well, that one should be obvious, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Leftover bottles, semi-empty and semi-filled. Bottles of liquor from last night. It looks like they were left behind by a group that stayed until the end of the party yesterday, but it looks like some of them are filled with water. Was it because someone wanted to have some water in between drinks, or maybe... Well.
I think it's because wanted to stay sober.
Yep. A life vest was found in a bush next to the entrance of the bell tower. Attached to it is a hook that looks a lot like the one that was stuck on Yuri's leg. It even has a cut rope tied at the end of it. Without a doubt, this life vest was used in the crime. You know, thinking about it, I think this life vest also makes me kind of think of Shinji. It's...
In what way?
I mean, using a life vest, it's just very firefighter, no?
Oh, I see. See what you're saying.
I mean, other professions might also think of using one, but I think firefighters are more likely to. Anesthetic solution that was found stained in the area around Yuri's body. According to Kanade, it's a general anesthetic used for surgeries. The culprit probably used the solution to knock Yuri out. Kanade said that this could be the scale syringe that went missing in an infirmary. Apparently you can control the length and potency of anesthetic by noting the scale. Since we found anesthesia around Yuri's body, there's a strong possibility that the culprit used the syringe to esterize Yuri? Esterize?
Anesthesize, so like putting someone under anesthesia.
Anesthesia.
Had a hard time saying that word myself. Anesthesize.
Anesthesize. Sometimes
I think that's how you say it, but like I'm even struggling to pronounce it. I know what it's saying, but but I'm struggling to pronounce it too.
Shinji's account. On the morning of the murder, Shinji waited for Hajime so that the two of them could go jogging. While he was waiting, he saw Yoriko exit the monocruise immediately after the morning hours began. Why did Yoriko leave the ship as soon as the ship's door opened? Interesting how Shinji is the one that also gives testimony that further just...
Well, it wasn't just him, because if you look at Shobai said something similar, so he's backing up Shinji's account. So that's two people that saw Yoriko go over there.
It doesn't have to be false. Just interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be false, but it is something.
Yoriko's account. I hate how many accounts there are here.
It's fine. I'll shorten them for you. Yoriko gave a recap of last night's events for those who partied too hard. Just before nighttime, the remaining partygoers drunkenly made their way back to the monocruise. However, Yuri went off on his own to use the bathroom, so he didn't go back with Yoriko. It's possible that it was during this time that the culprit targeted Yuri. That text was also small.
It's all for ants. Shobai saw Yoriko going to the bell tower with a rope. Could this be the same rope that was found by Yuri's body? This one is interesting.
Alright, so to shorten these, Kanade talks about the syringe. Shinji saw Yoriko leave as soon as the boat opened. Yoriko didn't bring Yuri back last night. And Shobai saw her carrying a rope. That's the order that you need to remember.
Yep. This shouldn't be...
That's the best way to shorten them.
This shouldn't be too hard, I think.
There is a lot of pieces of evidence, but that's only because of how long this case is. I don't remember how many interjections are off the top of my head, but we do use every single piece of evidence.
Alright, then I would say let's start. And hope I survive. Let's start.
God, that's such a sexy title screen. Anyway.
Allow me to briefly explain the rules of this class trial. The results of the class trial will be decided solely by your votes. If you manage to correctly identify the blackened, only they will receive punishment. But should you vote incorrectly?
Everyone is so sharp looking.
I know they look really good. This is gonna be so fun. Part of what I was so excited about for you seeing Trial 1 is seeing how different it is from DRA. It's gonna be such a different layout. It is in VXA, so you can get away with a lot more here.
Absolutely.
Everyone except for the blackened will be punished, and they will be able to escape this field trip of mutual killing.
Oh, it's begun. The class trial. One of the people here brutally murdered Yuri.
Well, first and foremost...
Wait a minute, Monocro. There's something I'd like to ask first.
What is it, Kanade?
You know.
I remember how interesting you've been being.
Yeah? Most people do.
What might that be?
Accomplices. Can there be accomplices in a case?
Good question. Whether or not there are accomplices will be a huge factor in deciding the culprit.
A good question indeed. I guess it wasn't specified in the rules. To be blunt, there can be accomplices.
What? So it's possible?
But in theory, only one person gets to actually leave the island anyway.
Of course. The rules even say that only the first murder counts if more should occur.
Yep. By the way, everyone is doing such a good job. The quality is pretty good.
Yeah, here's what I like about SDRA more than DRA. Characters are a little smarter, thank God. I'm sorry. I love the cast of DRA, but I need to put most of them in the idiot corner for timeout. I'm so tired.
You know, Mikaru and Tsurugi really had their hands full.
I know, I'm like, why do the two smart people on this cast have to be the most obnoxious and at each other's throats? I'm like, if you two work together, this would go much easier, please God.
But hey, to be fair, Mikaru was very funny about it.
Oh my God, I love her. Anyway.
In other words, without any reward, an accomplice is no more than another tool for the culprit.
They'd gain nothing from assisting the culprit, after all.
I find it so funky that you are here.
He makes the trials very entertaining, so I tried so hard not to react when he came on screen because I kind of fucking forgot that he's in this game for 5 seconds because my brain's been elsewhere and I'm like, oh yes, yeah, my husband's here, hi! Anyway, yeah, he's gonna be in every trial.
Fucking peanut gallery.
I love him.
Even if they succeeded, they'd be unable to escape the island alongside the Blackened. More importantly, they'd still face the same execution as the rest of us.
Which means, yes, he does count as, he can get executed too. He did say that at the beginning of the game. I just thought I'd reiterate it since it's been so fucking long.
Somehow I got... For some reason I was suddenly wondering, what if there was an accomplice that then backstabbed the murderer? That would be kind of funky, but hard to make happen.
Okay, this would be so funny because, like, Monocro said only the first murder counts, right?
Yep.
Well, then... So, would that mean that the person who kills the murderer, then becoming the second murderer, would just get off scot-free and, like, everyone would just keep hanging out? Like, what?
Oh my god. Oh my god. That would be so fun. Oh my god.
That's where my brain went because I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, hold on.
Ooh.
Because based on the Monocru's rules, you would just get the fuck away with that.
And I also just imagined, like,
And
I mean,
you also wouldn't get out either, is the other part. You would just get away with it. I don't know how to feel about that.
oh man, no, I'm gonna, man, I want to see that. But
That
also,
would be so interesting.
imagine, this just came out after the murder happened. What if the first murder had an accomplice who thought they could also get off? But now, after this, they would just be like, bitch! And then turn on the actual murder.
Oh, that's so funny.
Ah, man. The scenarios you could make, but we won't be
I
able
love
to
the
see.
conversations we have whenever my husband is on screen, because I feel I have like my brain when I see him and like the idea of him like listening to this, he'd be like, good, I like these ideas. Just like I feel like he'd just be like, yes, absolutely, and take notes.
Man.
Oh my god. Anyway, that made me lightheaded. That was funny.
Wait, what's that?
Why are you reacting to that?
Oh, that. You
Ah.
don't need to concern yourself.
That's
with
what
it.
she's reacting to.
It would have been Yuri Kagorin's seat, but it's rather sad to just leave a blank space there.
That's an
Love
awful
that
sense of
every-
humor you've got there.
Thank you, Hajime. I love that every mascot ever is just like, they gotta be a part of the hangout too, you know? And I'm just like, yeah, but why? Were you just too lazy to, you know? I don't know. What are you doing here?
What instead of like the funeral pictures, it was just a full body cutout.
That would be funny as fuck, but I just had I had a different idea when you were talking, okay? What if, like, this is how I would go about this if I made a fangan, right? I would, instead of, like, a portrait, there would just be custom plushies sitting in each of those seats. Like, these creepy looking patchwork dolls made up that look like them. That's what I would do.
And then after a certain trial, a plushie goes missing.
Yeah.
Because someone who was attached to the victim just stole it.
And I feel like there would be a punishment involved in that for, like, trying to take, like, the placeholders, you know?
And then a person
But
would
it's
be
just
like,
fine, fuck you, I'll die.
Then a person would be like, and if I bring them back again? Just for the trial?
It's like, no, because you might die.
Oh,
You die when you're holding one, then you get blood all over them, you stain them. No.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
anyway.
Wait, something's off about this. What's that empty seat over there? Whose is it?
It's exactly what it looks like, an empty seat. There's no need to concern yourself with that either.
Yeah, right.
I love that they pointed that out that early. Yay. Anyway.
You're very interested in the petty details, aren't you?
We all are,
Questions
Monocro.
fine, but shouldn't you be discussing the murder first?
Right. This
Every
place
time I
is
see-
extremely unpleasant. I'd like to leave as soon as possible.
Every time I see Monocro try to be intimidating, I swear to God, I just want to pick him up and squish him.
He is.
But I think part of the reason of that is I have a life-size Monocro plushie behind me now, so
He isn't very scary, yeah.
he's not. He's so cute. He's just bird. He's just bird. Anyway,
Sora is just like, ew.
Sora's like, can I leave? I don't want to be here.
It might be the last place you ever see if we don't figure out who the culprit is.
Yes, Smoozer, we know.
Optimism.
Oh my God.
Terrible things!
Well, Iroha, use your brain, and then he wouldn't.
Wait, all of you. Do you mind if I say something before we begin?
Huh? What is a Kokoro?
I know who the culprit is.
Spicy.
What? Are you serious?
Interesting that you're the first reacting.
Anyway.
Who is it? Who's the culprit?
I know who the culprit is, and I know exactly how they did it. So I'll give them the chance to speak. Pick yourself up now. Perhaps then I may understand that you regret your actions.
I kind of love how she just does shit like this, though, because it's both unnerving and kind of impressive.
It's nice of her that she gives them the chance, but I think that, yeah, nothing will come of it.
Who knows?
You'll be found out anyway, and it's better to confess rather than have it dragged out of you.
Yeah.
Ominous silence from Yuki.
He doesn't know what to do in this situation. None of them do.
Nobody's confessing.
Obviously. What kind of idiot would tell the truth? They'd be sentencing themselves to death.
True.
Alright.
Yep.
We'll do this the hard way.
So who's the culprit, Coco?
I can't tell you that right now.
Of course you can't. There needs to be gameplay.
Listen, then... Yeah, we need gameplay. That's why she's not sharing.
What? Why are you screwing around? Just tell us. We don't know who it is, so just tell us so we can get this over with. Like
okay,
Sosa
but...
said, I don't want to be here any longer than I have to be.
Yeah, of course you would, Beaky. Anyway, literally though, if someone just told you who the culprit was, would you believe them?
I mean,
like, it's them.
Yeah.
Like, I understand Kokoro's reasoning for the fact that she knows, and then she's just like, well, I can't tell you yet. Why? Think about it. If someone just told you the name, I'd want to know the reason, one, how you know that, and two, why? So, like, no one's just gonna believe what you say. You need to back up your reasoning.
Yep.
Would you be able to comprehend it, even if I did tell you?
Exactly what I was saying.
I would be lucky to be believed. I sense that a few of you are suspecting me already.
Aha. Your powers of observation are truly outstanding.
This is a class trial. All of our lives are on the line here. We need to find a conclusion that everyone finds acceptable, so that there is no doubt who the culprit is when we all cast our votes. Figure it out for yourselves as much as you can. I'll help you if you get stuck.
Yeah, that's very reasonable.
Yeah.
This is totally suspicious.
I'm sorry, Beaky, but I don't take you seriously because you're a little airhead. But she has a point.
Just proving her right.
Yeah.
Hey, Beaky, don't dismiss her when we haven't even started yet.
See, Kanada's reasonable.
What's with that condescending attitude, huh? Do you think I'm an idiot?
Maybe.
I do. I think you are. Me, I do. Anyway.
Oh, sis, your mood's back up again.
Oh,
Yeah.
please don't use your mood, though.
Duh, of course. I don't want to sit around moping forever. I'm really scared, but I'll do whatever it takes to stay alive. I see. That's good, sis.
You don't
Bored.
look
Anyway.
happy.
You'll get into that later.
Wait a moment. May I say something as well?
You can say anything you want at any time, all the time, and I will listen to you talk.
What is it now?
I imagine that some of you may suspect me simply because I'm the mastermind. Your opinions on me as a person are inconsequential.
Lord, okay.
It's kind of funny how I not once even thought of you as the culprit.
We have no reason to suspect him other than the fact that he is in control of the game. And he's just like, so put your bias aside for 5 seconds so we can figure out who the real killer is. And it's like, yeah, babes, no problem. And everyone else is just like, what the fuck do you want to say now?
But please, for all of our sakes, treat me as just another student during the class trial.
No problem, babes. Keep talking.
We would all die if we reached the wrong conclusion, after all. I don't want to die either, you know?
I don't know.
I love his stupid little masks and their silly little expressions, and just want to squish his face. Anyway, I'm gonna keep derailing if I keep staring at him.
Weird little guy.
He's my weird little guy.
That's exactly what the real culprit would say.
Shinji,
Shinji,
no.
please.
I must say his name just takes me out a bit.
What, Shinji's name?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just, like, do you know Fate's Day Night?
Nah, no. I know of it, but I don't know anything about it.
There's a guy named Shinji there.
Ah.
He is quite something.
Does he commit atrocities?
Not the fun kind.
I see.
That's why I'm just
Alright.
staring at his name and feel weird when I speak out his name.
That's funny. Anyway.
Oh, come now. This is a prime example of what you should not do.
Shinji, I'm sorry, but he's right. If Mikado wanted to act as the mastermind, he had plenty of opportunities to do so before. Everyone here is a suspect, including Mikado and I. The purpose of this discussion is to narrow down that list.
I give her head
I
pats.
see. I understand. I'll try my best.
I love how he goes from hyper-aggressive to, like, flustered moron. Sarah, help!
Code switching
He's so-
fast.
He's so fucking funny. Anyway.
So, can we start now?
Where should we begin?
If you're confused, try starting with what we know happened in this case.
Do your best. My life's on the line too.
We should probably start with what we know about the case. I need to try my best. Everyone's lives depend on it. Hey,
Oh
non-stop
boy.
debate.
Let's hear what the controls are this time. In a non-stop debate, you have to point out and counter the contradictions in other students' words with a truth bullet. The upper left corner displays the speaker and the progress meter. And occasionally, students' lines will include a yellow phrase. This yellow phrase is a weak point. You can move your crosshair over to this weak point and press confirm to fire a truth bullet. You're free to fire truth bullets at regular text as well. Why? But nothing will happen, yeah. And points will be deduced. Instead from
The
the score.
fucking snark here.
So maybe try to avoid doing that. Thanks.
I love Lena's fucking snarky ass.
Shift to select the right truth bullet, aim. Ooh.
Yeah.
There is a skip button.
I know, isn't it great?
Oh my.
Oh my god, you're gonna like this game better.
We shall see, depending on how much
Or at
the
least,
game
like,
intends to
playing-
bully
you're
me.
gonna- That's true. Yeah, I'll talk about that later.
The point is to fire the right truth bullet at the right weak point. You can press shift to change the loaded truth bullet. The feature isn't available if you only have one truth bullet, however. If you successfully refute an argument with the correct truth bullet, a cut-in will appear and your score will be calculated before advancing to the next phase. You will fail to refute an argument if you attack the right contradiction with the wrong truth bullet. In this case, your focus gauge will take 1 damage, and points are deduced. If your focus gauge is completely depleted, your influence gauge will take 1 damage and the minigame will start over.
Yeah!
Interesting use of the stars.
Yeah!
You won't be able to aim properly if you're pressing an arrow key while scoring it. Okay, interesting tidbit.
It's just like, hey, this isn't a bug, just don't do this.
As to skip lines and aid to view a list of all the truth bullets. Not just also useful.
They also voice all of the non-stop debate, so thank God we just have to listen.
We don't have to, like, make weird neck movements anymore.
No!
To begin, Riri died at 7:30 in the morning. 30 minutes after the morning announcements.
Is it true that Sora and Yuki were together at the scene of the crime?
Yes, Yuri contacted me. After I woke up this morning. When I saw the message asking for help, I immediately ran to the bell tower. I saw Yuri hanging from a rope, badly injured. And before I could do anything, he was dragged up. His corpse fell to the ground moments later.
There were so many cuts on Yuri's body. Could the murder weapon be a sharp object?
I think that's where you shoot. That's where Iroha talked.
That's a little bit ambiguous, though.
Yeah, but it makes sense considering the monochrome file. The monochrome file contained information about Yuri's body. I should go over what was written on the file one more time.
It was shock and blood loss.
Yes.
To begin, Riri died at 7:30 and 30 minutes after.
Is it true?
Whee!
Yeah, I know, isn't it nice?
There were so many cuts on Yuri's body. Could the murder weapon be a sharp object?
I don't know if you lined it up.
There were so many cuts on Yuri's body.
I mean, I can try again.
Could the murder weapon be a sharp object?
Oh, okay, yeah, now the crosshair's lined. It wasn't lined up, that's why. It'll
so
do
it's
like
more...
a little glow. It'll do like a little glow when you have it actually selected on the point.
Okay, so
that's
it's more sensitive this time.
It absolutely is, which I forgot to mention.
Accuracy
It's
penalty.
Yeah, it was just like, nah, you didn't hit it. Yeah, we can save between each one. Yay.
Whee!
Which is nice in case the trial takes 5 years.
Yuri couldn't have been killed by a sharp object. If you check the monochrome file, it says that the cause of death was blunt force trauma. In other words, Yuri's death was likely caused by his fall.
Oh, I see. There were so many cuts on his body that I overlooked that.
Then what are those cuts from?
The cuts are probably a result of that object. And that object is...
Many objects. It's still wrong.
It's fine. I'm pretty sure it's that.
Got it.
His injuries were caused by the sharp wires.
Wires?
Did you see all the wires strung in between the empty space in the middle of the spiral staircase? Yuri was dragged up by a rope and was cut by the wires as he fell to the ground. He fell very quickly, which is why the wounds are so thin and yet so numerous.
Oh, so that's why the cuts were there.
You never even checked the monochrome file? I can't believe you call that an investigation.
Grill her!
Easy now, Tiger.
I love how aggressive he is with idiots. I'm sorry, it it really satisfies my vindication.
Someone's gotta criticize the people into actually looking things up.
True.
I'm sorry. Hey, it was an honest mistake. Don't pick on her.
Irony of this line, anyway.
An honest mistake? It's rich of you to say that when we could all die from it.
He's got a point.
I mean, I must say, picking up the Monokuma file and reading through it once is, like, not a lot of effort.
Yeah.
I can't leave my life up to you all if you keep acting like idiots.
Sorry. Just the shit he says makes me laugh.
Everyone's lives depend on the outcome of this trial, not just mine, yeah? If the rest of you work hard to find out the culprit, I don't have to waste my own energy.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Rina, you're gonna like him. He's one of those.
A little bastard he is.
Little bastard bitch, yeah.
What? You're basically saying that you're going to leech off of us?
Pretty much.
Surprised.
I will intervene if I have to, but I'm not a fan of inefficiency.
Inefficiency. The inefficiency of contributing to a group project that could kill all of us.
I'm sorry, Showbai's just so fucking funny.
Me oh my.
You're working to save your own hides, so isn't this a favorable outcome for us all?
My guy.
Degenerate ruffian! Have you never even heard of the concept of cooperation with someone?
Apparently not.
Now, everyone. We won't accomplish anything if we let ourselves be distracted by people such as Mr. Hashimoto.
Glass houses, dear.
I love how they fucking roast each other.
Glass houses.
He just doesn't care.
Let's carry on with deliberations, shall we?
But if the culprit wanted to kill Yuri by dropping him, why did they go through the trouble of installing all of those wires?
I'm not sure. I think we'll have to talk about it a little more.
Alright, so could everyone tell me what they were doing at the time of Riri's death?
Like I said, Sora and I saw Yuri's death with our own eyes. We were together, so does that count as our alibi?
I was alone in my room.
I mean, most
Right?
most people probably were, I think.
Yeah, considering how early this happened, that wouldn't shock me. I don't think everybody on this cast is an early bird.
Except for like Hajime and Shinji, that is.
Yeah.
Do I have to tell you? I was just wandering around the place.
So you also have no alibi. Congrats.
Okay, early bird for nothing, you are, apparently.
He's, considering his talent, he's naturally fucking shady, so you know?
Mr. Kagura died around 7:30 a.m. So everyone besides Mr. Maeda, Miss Sora, Miss Mitsume, and Mr. Hashimoto must have been in the dining hall.
No,
Yeah.
Yoriko wasn't there.
Uh-huh, okay.
Yuko, where were you and what were you doing at the time?
That's...
Well, that's a bit hard to answer, isn't it? Better mentally prepare yourself to be dogpiled, I guess.
Oh god, please dogpile her. That's all I want.
I was also at the bell tower. I met Yuki and Sora there. The bell tower? But that's the scene of the crime, isn't it? If Sora and Yuki were there because of the message... Yoriko, what were you doing there? What was I doing?
Kanade, just in case it comes up later, Yoriko technically witnessed Yuri's death with us. You heard the body discovery announcement, right? It's only announced when 3 or more people find the body. Sora and I saw it first, and Yoriko a little while after.
Hold on, Mr. Maeda. You claim that Mr. Kagurine was hoisted by a rope?
He's calling bullshit on Yuki's attempt to, like, not make people pile up on her.
Listen, there's a reason I love my husband, and this is part of it. He's a natural bullshit detector.
Yeah?
Then it stands to reason that the two of you witnessed the culprit, no?
I mean, you're wrong, but also...
Oh yeah, he's wrong, but...
What? Really?
If the Blacken dragged Mr. Kagurine with a rope up to the top of the bell tower, our 2 witnesses would have immediately followed afterwards in pursuit.
I see. Because the only way down from the top of the tower is down the spiral staircase.
Is
Whether the culprit
it?
went down or Sora and Yuki went up, they would definitely bump into each other at some point somehow.
I mean, most people probably don't think that someone would, like, jump from the tower.
No, yeah, I know. But I'm just like, did these nerds even look at the evidence?
They don't. That's the Danganronpa game, folks.
I know, I shake them. It's fine. Anyway.
Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. We did get to the top of the bell tower, but Yoriko was the only one up there.
I can see your attempt to make her as innocent as possible in your wording, Yuki, but I'm sorry, it's probably not gonna work.
Nope.
Even though technically you are right, but...
Like, he is, but also...
Good effort.
We need a red herring.
Yes.
Because every case has a red herring culprit, so we need one. And it gets to be hers.
It's more fun, though, when there are several red herrings.
Yeah, I have a recommendation for you later. Because I ran into one recently that does that. They don't do it well in the first trial, but they do it well in the second.
That means Yoriko's the culprit.
Girl, no.
She just like slipped in there. Like, hey, y'all are dumb.
Kanare, aren't you supposed to be smarter than this? But I see what you mean in this case.
She is one of the smarter on the cast, actually, but yeah.
What? Isn't it obvious? Like Emma said, the only way to climb up the tower is by using the stairs. And if you were there...
What's that expression you're sporting?
Smug little shit-ass piece of... Anyway.
Absolutely.
You don't have a good excuse like Yuki and Sora, and you've been looking worried from the start. It's clear to everyone that Yoriko's the culprit. Don't you think so, sister? Huh? But, Kanade, we just said that Ruko's a witness.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
Anyway.
Hibiki is kind of like the missing the point meme.
Hibiki is like, I've connected the two dots. I've connected them. Kanade, you didn't connect shit.
Sis, please just think for a moment. Yoriko doesn't have an alibi, and she has no reason to be in the bell tower if she's not related to the case. I guess. When you put it that way, Ruko does sound pretty suspicious.
Man. What do you call it in English when you gotta explain something very step by step for someone to get it?
There's a few ways you could say it, honestly. Like walking them through it is a phrase that is sometimes used. Kanade just walked her through the entire thought process. Does that phrase make sense?
Yes, it's a very kind phrase, though.
Yeah, I can't think of the fucking more aggressive ones right now. What do y'all call it? I want to know that.
We call it vorkauen. Basically, to eat something for someone else, so they can feed the pre-chewed
Oh my god,
thing.
like feeding baby birds?
Yes. To basically chew the food first to give it to someone else, is that?
Oh man, I love that. That's funny.
Hey now, who are you calling suspicious?
I mean, girl, you're not really in a situation to complain right now about this.
No, she's not, but she's going to. She's gonna complain the whole fucking time. It's what she does.
It's not her fault, but yeah.
Okay then, Yuko. Can you tell us why you were at the bell tower? You and Rama just told us that they were there because they got a message from Riri.
Like, see, Setsuka's approaching this the right way. It's like, okay, if you're not at fault, can you explain yourself?
Yep.
She's not super polite about it, but she's like, come on, I want to hear your explanation then. What the fuck's going on?
Tell us why you were there, then we won't have a reason to doubt you.
I don't know. I don't know why I was there.
Okay.
Just, I don't know. You were probably drugged or something?
I don't know, because that kind of contradicts the other pieces of evidence we have. She left as soon as the doors opened, and that Shobai saw her carrying shit to the bell tower. So I think she was called there. I don't know by who.
But
I don't think she did it, but she was called by somebody.
Explain yourself, girl. You still got shit to explain, clearly.
I think part of the reason that she's not fucking explaining is she's like, I'm too suspicious. I'm just gonna be framed. Fuck.
What? Are you kidding me right now?
Yoriko's situation sounds kind of complicated. I thought she was the culprit at first too, but after I heard her testimony, I'm not so sure that's right.
Yoriko, calm down and tell us your side of the story.
As I expected, it looks like everyone's suspicious of Yoriko. I need to discuss this some more to find out if she's really the culprit or not. It's another non-stop debate.
What we got?
And what bullets do we have?
Just one.
Okay.
I went outside as soon as the monocruise's door opened, so I could start my morning investigation before breakfast began. Then someone attacked me from behind, and I lost consciousness. When I woke up, I was at the top of the bell tower next to Sora and Yuki.
That kind of sounds like
have any proof?
like so much bullshit.
For example, someone who saw you leave early.
What? No, nobody saw me.
Well...
No, that's wrong!
But, huh?
Yeah. she was definitely seen, but yeah.
But, it kind of still sounded so fake. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
What with the rope, then? What were you planning to do with it?
That's the thing. That's an interesting piece of evidence.
Actually, there was someone who saw Yoriko leave early this morning. Shinji, you said you saw her, right?
Oh, me? Well, yeah, I definitely saw Yoriko leaving early this morning.
I'm sorry, the name pronunciation just took me out.
Not everyone can succeed in pronouncing names right, I guess.
Yeah, I'll give him some slack. Anyway.
You guys sure do get up early, don't you? What were you guys doing?
Hajime and I go jogging every morning, you know? I woke up early, so I was waiting for him in the hallway. Hajime was late because he had to use the bathroom. I saw Yoroko leaving as soon as the monocruise door opened up.
Wasn't... Huh? Something ain't adding up here. Like, who was it again who said that, like... Wait a minute, it's been too long. It's been too long.
Okay, what part do you need re-explained?
Hajime was late because he had to use the bathroom. Was it Hajime again who didn't show up? Or was it Shinji that didn't show up for, like, morning...
Shinji was waiting on him. Shinji was waiting on Hajime. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So basically there was a moment where Hajime was, like, alone. Not with Shinji in the morning.
Yeah, but the way I remember it... Hajime didn't show up because he had something else to do. He didn't mention the bathroom, so I thought it was something else that he didn't show up at all. I see.
I think the phrasing was supposed to be like, I didn't show up right away. I think was supposed to be the phrasing. But yeah, I do remember what you're saying based off of what he said. I'm remembering that portion of the conversation now. Good observation on the inconsistency. It's there for a reason.
Alrighty then.
It's like I said, I'm not lying.
However, while we've proven that you left the ship early, can we really be certain that it was for the sake of investigation?
True.
That's a fair point.
Doesn't that just make you even more suspicious? The murder did happen this morning, after all. And the culprit who killed Mr. Kagurine definitely wasn't in the monocruise this morning.
That's true, but...
So, does that mean Yoroko really is the culprit?
Wait a minute. Why is everyone accusing me when I haven't done anything?
Because you didn't give a good defense.
I told you. I don't know how or why I was there. I lost consciousness right after I left.
But rope?
Rope? Rope?
Rope?
Shobai, why was she carrying rope?
Assuming what Yoriko says is the truth, the culprit attacked her and moved her to the bell tower to pin the blame on her?
But then there's no explanation for how Yuri was pulled to the top.
Maybe the culprit was hiding somewhere at the top of the tower?
You guys are quite kind.
Yeah.
No, we looked around for a bit, but it's an exposed area with almost no furniture around.
Unless you yeet yourself off the bell tower.
Swan dive! Yeet!
It would be very difficult for someone to hide themselves up there.
If Yoriko can't explain herself, we have no choice but to assume she's the culprit.
Okay, no, wait. I do agree with the phrasing that it would be difficult for someone to hide up there. So the result would be that if there was someone up there with her, it would have had to jump off. So I do agree with that phrasing.
I don't know, hide inside the bell?
That's an...
Like Spider-Man?
Sorry, considering I know who this is, that made me laugh a lot. It would... the mental image I have. I'll tell you later once you know who it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, that's not true. I'm not.
Don't jump to conclusions. Yoroko isn't lying.
Thank God Kokoro's like, hey, idiots.
Coco.
Listen to her voice. She's telling the truth.
I don't think the others can do what you can do.
Yeah, they can't, so you have to give them something else to latch onto for their reasoning, my friend.
I know you're a psychologist, Koro, but how can you be so sure?
The method you're using to deduce Yoriko's alleged culpability is far too short-sighted. Look at the bigger picture instead of focusing solely on her.
There's a lot of evidence we haven't looked at yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but the way she phrased that was kind of funny to me. She was just like, you're tunnel visioned, stop.
And, like, I also can see Yoriko, like, put a whole ass hook through someone's calf.
She's not strong enough. There's no way.
Like, she's a twig.
Yeah, we need, okay. To give you an idea of people with the good strength on the cast, Sora, she's very strong. She can crush an apple with her hand. I love my wife. Anyway, then obviously Hajime and Shinji. And those three were out early in the morning, but Sora has an alibi. So, out of everyone that was wandering around, that kind of narrows the pool by a lot.
Such as why Yuri was killed, perhaps.
And the other thing you need to remember... The other thing you need to remember, too, is that Yuri was kind of well-built as well. It was something that was commented on the beginning of the game, is that he's also fit. Which means you would need someone either as strong or stronger than him to incapacitate him, other than the other, like, the anesthetic and the other stuff that was involved. So... that means, like, the muscle density to drag him up with a hook through the calf needed to just... you need a lot.
Yeah, I think it still happened with a pulley system.
Yeah, something like that.
Speaking of which, Didn't Yuri lock himself in his room after telling the girls to kill him? It'd be awfully difficult to drag that guy out of his room.
Hardly. If he was serious, a girl would only need to knock, and Yuri would open his door.
Are you
True.
saying that the culprit is a girl?
Nope.
So, like, doesn't it all point to Ruko anyway?
Getting flashbacks from DRA about, the culprit's gotta be a girl, right? No, it doesn't, Mitch. Shut up. Now we have someone else going, it's gotta be a girl, right? Because Yuri said girls should kill him, right?
But no, my dear people, it would be so much funnier if a guy did it.
Yeah.
Just to spite him.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you, it's not me!
Wait, everyone. If the culprit were a man, wouldn't that make the crime that much more ingenious?
I love you, baby girl. You are so smart. I ruffle your hair, and then I fix it again because you worked so hard on making it look nice.
The obvious answer would be that the culprit is a woman, but if it was a man, they would be able to exclude themselves from the list of suspects for that reason.
But Yuri's the kind of guy who hates even being spoken to by another guy.
As long as Yuri had locked himself in his room, a man would have never been able to lure him out.
Huh? According to what Emma just said, a man could have been the culprit if Yuri hadn't been inside his room. Yuri locked himself inside his room for 2 days, and he left it for a single occasion. The occasion was... Yeah, we still do have Hangman's Gambit, but thank God it's translated.
Well, that at least is one boon. Though I must say I've always been bad at, like, Hangman's Gambit.
Yeah!
Like, me playing V3 was just a whole ass experience of what the fuck is a seesaw? Like, they just throw this word at me I've never seen before and expect me to, like, spell it. And I was like, okay, now I know what a seesaw is, I guess. Uh-oh.
Oh, this is the... Okay, wait. This is the mini game that I warned you about. This is the one where it flashes across the screen really fast and you have to memorize where all are.
Oh, no.
And it's literally not long enough, so you might just want to screenshot it. Because we don't have the skill to make this super easy.
Alrighty then,
It's basically card matching.
In Hangman's Flashback, you have to try and catch a thought that passes through your mind in a flash, get it? When the game starts, a keyword will appear in the lower left corner with some of its letters left blank. A set of cards will also appear in the middle of the screen. The cards will initially be shown for around 5 seconds, during which you should memorize their letters and arrangements. Next, you must fill in the blanks of the keyword, reading from left to right. Try to recall the letters that would fit the leftmost blank first. Then select the card that you think holds that letter. After choosing your initial card, select another card that letter matches the letter of your first choice. If you manage to match a pair correctly and the mutual letter correctly fills the blank, the space will be filled and you can move on to the next blank. You will receive a penalty to your score and will take damage if your letter is incorrect or the cards don't match. Yeah, that's a bit much of damage.
Yeah, that's why I said you might just want to screenshot it when they're all clear. You have to do it fast.
The lower right corner will display the time limit. If the timer reaches 0, you will receive a penalty to your points and your focus gauge will take damage. If you're concerned that this game is too difficult, don't worry, the cards will all be shown again briefly if you run out of time. So you have 5 chances, haha. But only 3, but only allowed to make 3 mistakes, haha.
Yeah, that's why I said you might want to pull your screenshot tool.
So try to use these resets as guidance for all subsequent attempts. Like the non-stop debate, your influence gauge will be damaged, and the game will start over if your focus gauge runs out completely.
Yeah. Also, the settings change each time, like the placements do.
Okay. Alright, now it starts too. Okay.
Yeah, so we just need A and Y.
Man. I kind of feel bad. But we gotta do what you gotta do.
It's fine. Literally Ha and all of us, we did this too because we didn't have the ability that lets you just see the letters. Most people screenshot for that minigame, don't feel bad. It's just such bullshit, it's so fast.
I mean, it reminds me of the bullshit that was like in Your Turn to Die. You know, that one memorizing game.
Oh my god, no, don't get me started. That minigame makes me so angry.
Screenshotting wasn't enough. There you had to recall the whole ass game.
I hated it. Anyway.
The party last night. Yuri was at that party, wasn't he? Didn't he drink late into the night too?
Oh yeah, he was there.
So then if someone attacked Yuri right after the party ended, it could have easily been a man.
Yes, that's true.
You're taking that into account now? Quick-witted bunch, aren't you?
Oh, he's praising her.
I was just mentioning, is that praise? Or a backhanded compliment?
I think it's both.
You asshole! You're not even participating in the discussion!
What? Do you want me to help? That'll be a million crows. I'll figure this all out for you then.
Man.
You Scrooge.
Man.
He's so amusing.
Ooh, if only his opponent were a bit more eloquent.
Yeah.
Because the amount of arguments you could have made just off that statement.
If Sora's right, a man really could have attacked Yuri. But that's no reason to rule out a girl as a culprit.
That's true, but... smug.
Yeah.
Of course. She said that the culprit could be a man, not that they couldn't be a woman.
Are we arguing semantics now?
A little.
For a man like Mr. Kagurine, the idea of him giving up his life to a woman that approached him during the festivities is all too plausible.
Yeah, but I'm curious about something. The party was last night, right? Yuri died this morning. If the culprit attacked Yuri after the party, wouldn't that mean the culprit was inside the Mono Cruise during nighttime?
I mean, yeah.
The Mono Cruise doors lock after 10 p.m.
Yeah, if the party was last night and the murder happened this morning, there's a huge gap of time missing between them.
Very good questions here.
Rina,
so
do you
remember? If a man really did attack Riri after the party, what was he doing until morning?
You were saying?
Okay, I'm glad she brought it up. That's what I was gonna say. What I was gonna say was, do you remember the comment they made about the wires being taped all up tower, and how you cannot just do that in a few hours?
The night overnight
so I don't
job. Someone didn't sleep. I remember now.
Someone didn't sleep, and someone wasn't on the Mono Cruise in the morning.
I'm more curious about Yuri, though. Does being, like, drugged up not count as sleeping outside?
Remember when Kanade was talking about the syringe? And how, like, you can control how much you give someone because of the syringe, and you can just... Yeah, she kind of explained that. So I don't think all the anesthetic was used at once.
Oh, Alrighty.
But didn't all the people who were drinking late into the night return to the monocruise before 10 p.m.?
Nope.
That's, I can't really remember.
Mans was
Probably.
blackout drunk.
I was the only sober one there.
I doubt that.
Although, Yuri was late. He told me he'd be stopping by the bathroom. I get it! That was when somebody kidnapped Rin then!
No, that doesn't make sense, because the murder happened at the bell tower just after the morning announcement. The culprit would have been locked inside the monocruise. They wouldn't have had any time to prepare for the murder.
You're assuming things again.
Course correction.
Yeah. There's no rule that says you have to stay inside the monocruise during nighttime.
What? About the rules?
State that the monocruise doors close at 10 p.m. and that sleeping outside the dorms is not allowed. That's all.
It is smart little cookie.
If the monocruise, they would be free to wander the island after the door was locked.
Indeed. Assuming that the monsters don't exist.
If they stayed up all night, they wouldn't be breaking any rules.
Being outside the monocruise at night isn't a rule violation? Is that true?
Yes, I've done it before.
Girl? Okay, I mean, it makes sense. She is the type to, like, try stuff like that out.
She's like... I love Kokoro because she's like, time to fuck around and find out.
What would happen if I slept during the day and stayed out all night outside? And nothing happened. The doors opened in the morning, and I was able to board the monocruise as usual.
Okay, so she proved to us there are no monsters.
Yeah!
And she has the scientist spirit.
She's just like,
But didn't Monocro say that monsters would be wandering the island at night? You still could have been injured, Coco.
I was fine. I stayed on the main roads and never ran into any sort of monster. Although I do wonder if something may be hidden in the forest.
Are you fucking with them or are you...
You'll never know.
If Kokoro is telling the truth, it's possible that Yuri never re-entered the monocruise last night. According to Yoriko, he did return, just much later than everyone else. But isn't it possible that he was attacked and then placed in the bell tower until this morning?
According to that theory, the culprit is one of the people who were drinking late into the night. What do you think, Yoriko? You're one of the people who stayed behind, aren't you?
She also went back to the monocruise in the morning and left it as soon as the doors opened, so that proves that she was there overnight.
So that's true. But it wasn't me. I got back to the monocruise with everyone else.
About that. None of us were exactly sober, so we don't really remember that. Sorry, Yuko.
What?
Oof.
Oh.
They were all drunk as skunks.
Indeed, and none of them can recall a thing. Speaking of which, I don't recall seeing any alcohol during the preparations for the party.
Oh, you're right.
And yet, there was alcohol abound in the beverages by the time the party started. I believe this is no mere coincidence.
Yeah.
Are you saying that the culprit put alcohol in the drinks in order to get everyone drunk and fog up their memories?
Smart.
Might also bank on, like, a bad day after.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, isn't it possible that someone impulsively committed a murder because they were under the influence at the time?
No. You can tell by looking at the crime scene that someone put a great deal of thought into this murder.
That would have been also pretty fun though. Very messy though.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit an intoxicated cover-up.
If the culprit brought the alcohol, doesn't that mean they helped organize the party?
Who are the ones organizing the party?
You, Ra-Ra, Mac, Yuko, Mikado, and myself. Just the 6 of us.
If you need help with whose nickname is who, I can say.
They aren't exactly super obvious, I must say. But I think I got them, probably. Yuki, Sora, Setsuka, Mikado, and the last one, Yoruko.
I think Yoriko's on there, but I also think that Hajime is on there too.
So the culprit's someone that helped with the party and stayed out last night.
Yep.
And they would have to be sober. That's what you're saying?
Hey, wait a second. The only person who wasn't drinking last night was Yoriko. She said she'd be chaperoning Dry, since we had to get back by 10 p.m.
No, I mean, that's true, but...
That's...
The evidence all lines up.
But we still have so much other evidence that we haven't talked about yet, guys.
Yep.
Yoriko, can you explain what happened in more detail? We just want to believe you.
You're not listening to me.
Why are you arguing against me?
Oh my god, are you ready?
Why are you yelling at me?
Are you ready? You know what this minigame is.
I know, yeah.
It is a different setup too. My condolences. I'm really glad we got the twins' ability before doing this.
Let's just get it over with, I guess.
To be accused as the culprit because of a series of coincidences. I can still defend myself, you know? Listen to me before you start talking.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because she does this all the time and it's really, 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 really annoying. Anyway.
Okay. That is different.
It is so much worse.
As to shoot down. In a rebuttal showdown, the goal is to shoot down your opponent's arguments and refute them. There are 5 lanes at the center of the screen. You may switch lanes using the left and right arrow keys, and you can launch an error by pressing confirm. Which words? Who?
It highlights just like a regular statement would. Like it does white then yellow. Kind of like the other one. The setup's just different, and also the words move faster than they do in one.
Okay,
That's
so
basically the difference you need to keep in mind.
So enter for like white words and S for yellow ones?
I think so.
The opponent's arguments will disappear within 1 to 3 seconds after appearance and inflict damage. If you fail to shoot them down before that happens, the rebuttal gauge at the top will move to the right. If an opponent takes over the entire rebuttal gauge, your focus gauge will take damage and points will be deduced. On the other hand, the rebuttal gauge will move to the left every time you successfully shoot your opponent's words down. You will take double the damage if the rebuttal gauge is in your opponent's favor.
Yeah.
So, I don't take like hard damage if a thing goes over. That's good at least, because that's...
So there are 3 things you need to keep track of here: gauge at the top, and then your other 2 gauges at the bottom. So, if she manages to strong arm the conversation and you start taking damage, and she's like winning, she will damage you harder than if you are winning and she tries to damage you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a bit unfair.
So you'll take like 1 or 2 stars of damage, and you'll take like 2 stars of damage compared to 1, I think is the difference there. So she can deplete the focus gauge faster. If I remember right, I think that's how this works.
Ugh.
It sucks.
So do your best to not miss shooting down any of the arguments. Sora will have a chance to say her counter-arguments as the rebuttal proceeds. Shoot an arrow, okay. Select the appropriate arrow with shift. Okay, S is really for the yellow ones. Oh, me and keyboard controls. We are not the best pairing. Towards the rebuttal gauge will return to its initial position. Like in a non-stop debate, you can refute the yellow text in your opponent's arguments. Instead of truth bullets, you will be given truth arrows. Yeah. Must be equipped to the bow in order to refute the argument. Press shift to change the truth arrow and S to equip the currently selected. Once you equip a truth arrow, the bow will turn red and you will not be able to change truth arrows.
I think you can unnotch it, but I'm not sure. Again, it's been a while since I've seen this minigame. I just know it sucks.
Wait a second.
Ha always complained about this one.
Wait, so S isn't for shooting?
No, I think it's just to lock it in place.
Oh, Jesus Christ, people.
I told you this minigame sucks. I wasn't exaggerating.
This is convoluted.
Yeah. So basically, pick thing, shift, notch it, S, then fire. I don't remember what the fire control is. It might be the same confirm button as it is for non-stop debate.
Can I notch it at the start?
I think so.
Because I already can tell you that if I do not so at the start, I might forget.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Ah.
Okay, so you can take it back off. Cool.
When a truth arrow is equipped, you cannot shoot down ordinary remarks.
Oh, so you can't. So you have to put it on each time.
Are you fucking
That's why Ha hates this minigame. I remember now. Because she wouldn't notch it fast enough and it would just smack her. Don't worry, this minigame notoriously sucks.
If you want to shoot ordinary remarks, remember to remove the truth arrow fast. Finally, you may view a list of all clues by pressing A. Yeah. Do your best to keep your combo going and counter your opponent's rebuttals. Fuck you.
Okay, thank God it's just one, but you still have to notch it.
I know I have to accede to your unjust accusations.
Okay, what? Why is it like this?
So bad. It's so bad.
Like you said, Yuri would have done anything for a woman, even die for her. There's no reason for me to wait until the party to kill him in such a complicated manner.
The culprit may have waited until the party because of their plan involving the alcohol. Like we said before, they used it to dull everyone's memories so they could easily get away with their plan. The fact that Yuri attended the party in itself could indicate that he was working with the culprit.
So you're just saying that I would do something as stupid as intentionally going to the party? If I was the culprit, I wouldn't go about it that way. If you two weren't at the tower with me, you wouldn't be suspecting me. Is that how it is? Just because of that, you're suspecting me. It's completely unfair.
Oh, it's that point. It's that bullet point.
I'll just leave my stupid fingers on the S.
Although Yoriko looks suspicious, that isn't the only reason we think she's the culprit. Yoriko did something only the culprit would have done. There was an account of her preparing the act in question. Let's show her proof.
Just because of that, you're
Watch it.
I'll pierce through those words.
I remembered the timing of where it was, so I was just like, I'm told you to do it. I hate Rebuttal Showdown in 2, it's so bad.
I mean, in 2 it was also bad because, like, they were just punishing you for the stupidest shit.
Oh yeah, no, I think the jank is worse in 1. You're also playing it with an ability. If you had to play that without an ability, it'd be worse.
What was that ability doing anyway?
It's the twins. Let me look that one up again. Just keep advancing, I'll tell you when I find it.
Shobai told me that he saw you going to the bell tower this morning.
What?
He also said you were holding a long rope in your hand.
A rope? The same rope that Rinrin was tied up with?
Shobai, you were telling the truth, right?
Huh? I was. At the time, I didn't know that woman would be so important to the case. I was wondering what she was planning to do with something like that. Now that I think about it, that was a really important piece of evidence.
Wait, he's lying! Shobai isn't telling the truth! I really was attacked by someone as soon as we left the Mono Cruise. He's trying to slander me. He's the culprit.
Oh girl, you are sadly not really have a leg to stand on here.
Even if you say that.
Yeah, all the evidence is stacked against you.
It's almost undeniable. Or maybe you're just an idiot, Yoriko.
Kanade, maybe don't be so smug when you're falling for the red herring.
Yeah.
Why are you all accusing me? Why me?
Mr. Hashimoto's testimony is the most damning thing here. How do you plan to defend yourself against that?
Yuko, are you really the culprit?
Wait, Shobai really is lying.
Yeah, he is.
Bastard!
Yeah! Yeah, he's stirring the pot. He's being a bitch.
Oh my god.
I'll explain why. He's testing them to see if they can suss out false evidence, and they fail.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
By the way, we might want to end the part here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alrighty then, we will beat up Shobai for being a lying bastard next time.
Yep.
So then, till then, bye-bye.
Bye.